was life like having a father who was a deacon and an active man in the community?
You know, my father, and may he rest in peace, was a very, very humble, kind man. He never, when I did get in trouble, he would never punish me. He would just like ask me, you know, what did I learn, you know, from what I did. And he was very soft-spoken. And before he became a deacon, he worked in the neighborhood, in the community. So it was very, very special. It's like I had a direct line to God through my father. And I was always able to go to him for advice, you know. And he always would pray. And he taught me to pray. And to this day I pray, you know, because sometimes in life, you know, things happen and, you know, you fall down and, you know, and something goes wrong in life and you got to believe in something. So he really taught us to believe in God and to have faith. And then in terms of community, I got involved in doing community work because of my dad. You know, my dad really believed that we had to help those who needed help. And so anytime my dad was doing something, I tagged along. Out of all my brothers and sisters, there's 5 of us, and I was the one that always hung out with him and stuck with him and helped, you know, whenever he needed help.
What inspirational events happened that you experienced as a child?
The biggest one I would say would be the Cesar Chavez, meeting Cesar Chavez. So I was 12 years old, and my father was already volunteering for the United Farmworkers and Cesar Chavez. So one summer when I was 12, he decided to send me to Delano, California, which is like, the further down you travel down south, the weather gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And the bus started smelling. And we got in front of a church in Delano, California. And they parked the bus and they told us to get off the bus. And they put us in this auditorium for the church. And they said, this is where you're gonna sleep for the summer. And it was a hard wooden floor, and I had my sleep bag, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like so upset at my dad for sending me down there, you know, and it was all hot, and I was all sticky and sweaty. But let me tell you, after that summer, I came home, and I was so thankful to mi papa, because I had a bed to sleep on, I had a roof over my head, I had running water, we had a stove, we had a refrigerator. The farm workers that worked out in the fields, you know, they live in shacks, literally. I mean, I saw that. They lived in cardboard shacks that they made, you know. And talking about hot, if you're out there 12 hours a day picking grapes, you know, imagine how much you sweat. And they weren't getting paid enough, so I was so moved and so inspired of the work of Cesar Chavez that that summer when I left, when we hugged, I told him that I would volunteer forever and ever and ever to help farm workers. And to this day, I still volunteer my time to support the farm workers. And so for me, that was like one of the most biggest experiences that I've had. Then we had a march from Delano, California, all the way to Sacramento. Can you imagine that day and day not walking and marching in support of the farm workers? And so one of the things that I've learned from that experience, that if you organize and you're willing to make sacrifices to support people that are in need, anything can be accomplished. You know?
Do you think it is important for us to learn about our local communities?
Definitely. I think it's so important. You know, because it's like you're learning about God, and what does God teach us? It teaches us to be of service to others, right? And so one thing is to learn a book from a book and hear a teacher talk about it, but what are you going to do to make a difference, right? And that's a responsibility we have as human beings, is to help others.
What makes you happy about living and working here in the mission?
I love it. I love it. I love the smell of tortillas when I walk down the street. I love the smell of the pan dulce. I love the murals. I love, the going into the Mission Culture Center and watching people learn how to dance salsa and cha-cha-cha. And, I love the lowriders. I love, I love the people. It's just like so much excitement here. You see the señor with the paletero walking down the street. You can get a paleta. You can buy a churro. You can buy flores on the corner. The señora selling tamales and champurrado, and it's just somebody selling balloons, somebody selling shoes. I mean, you could buy anything on the street. It's so lively. Our streets. It's just like, for me, it's fun. It's just fun. Congratulations on 140 years. That's so amazing. It's like when I first saw I get a little thing in the mail from the church and the school here. I said 140 years. Wow. So for me, it's like so exciting that it's 140 years. The school's still open. The church is still there, and there's a lot to celebrate.
Lastly, we just want to say thank you for your time and your support to the Mission District.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure meeting all of you.